The chapter was called When Underdogs Win, and with Taiki's reaction to Hina in a yukata, I think she might have a legitimate chance at her Taiki's heart in the endgame. Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Delia, and today let's talk about chapter 33 of the Blue Box manga series, a chapter that continues Taiki's time at the university, but then starts off the ordeal of the fireworks event. Now then, first of all, I want to talk about Shieldo and Taichi's interaction, as this was rather interesting and gave more of a focus on Taichi's character throughout the entirety of the chapter itself. This chapter felt very much like a Taichi-focused one at that. The reason as to why I say this is because the chapter does a great job at outlining Taichi's current goals and things he wants to achieve in order to get to nationals. He understands there are obstacles in his way, and in order to get to nationals, he must first overcome them by honing and training his skills to the absolute maximum potential he currently has. His goals are simple. Firstly, he needs to get revenge on Yusa. And then he's looking to surpass Haru, his mentor. Which order he achieves these in isn't really that important. And honestly, I would actually love a situation in where Haru loses to Yusa, making the finals of the second or third year national qualifiers Taichi versus Yusa as the rematch. This time would have a bit more tension as both fighters are in a battle of pride and skill, with Taichi trying to get revenge. I feel like if Taichi gets his revenge and beats Yusa after Yusa was very dominant over Haru, then in a sense you could say that Taichi surpassed Haru without technically ever beating him. Now, Shieldo, in my opinion, was presented much differently than what I previously imagined. After all, he's been shown to be very powerful and imposing, making you think twice about approaching him, simply because he outshines you in every department. Skills, smarts, and even looks. No matter how you angle it, Shieldo is just immense. But when all was said and done, Shieldo within this chapter came across as friendly, approachable, and, dare I say, interesting with a hint of goofiness. I love this, as he took on a mentor role towards Taichi, giving Taichi some pointers and tips within the chapter to help him improve his game. But more importantly, what I think Shieldo actually serves the purpose of doing within this chapter when talking to Taichi is give our protagonist a much needed boost of confidence. I say confidence because to me Taichi was shown as having some self-doubt about himself and his current skill level. This is evident to the fact that Taichi didn't think it was possible for himself to be a candidate in the next year's national qualifiers. He agreed with Shieldo, saying that it's likely to be Haru and Yusa as the next people to nationals next year. But at the same time, I like this lingering self-doubt from Taichi's character, as it not only helps to develop our main protagonist, but also showcases a mature vibe to him. Simply because it allows him to understand, self-evaluate himself, and plan a step to develop and progress moving forward, so that those self-doubts can be put to rest in the future. This from Taichi was excellent. Now then, it's small prediction time. With that weird line from Shieldo in where he states, it would be cool if some genius exchange student suddenly transferred to a no-name school. Personally, I think there's 3 different ways this line could foreshadow future events. Number 1, Shieldo knows a good player looking for a new school and will encourage that person to join Taichi's no-name school. Number 2, in his spare time, Shieldo might return to that no-name school and coach Taichi, much to Haru's displeasure. That one though, I'm not very certain of, because Shieldo won't have much time between studying, practicing at a university, and travelling back to Taichi's school just to train him. And number 3, the least likely but more interesting scenario, Yusa joins Taichi and Haru's school. Now the reason why I say this would be interesting is simple, as it adds a bit more tension to the next tournament. Even if this doesn't happen, however, though, a new character is needed to be introduced to give Yusa a doubles partner, now that Shieldo has moved on to university. So I do think making Yusa join Taiki's school and making Yusa and Haru a doubles team would be such a compelling story. Taiki would need to find a new partner and plan a strategy to overcome this new powerhouse team, both in doubles and of course in singles matches. Anyways though, let's move on to the festival, because that's what loads of people are wondering about. Now personally, I didn't think there was a great deal to talk about in this segment just yet. We've only just touched upon the fireworks festival. But for Taiki, he did showcase a bunch of great characteristics. For example, him remembering the fact that Hina really likes those candy apples was brilliant, as it showcased him being a kind and caring friend. Well, I guess he loses brownie points for, making Hina pay for them. Cheapskate. But at the same time, it still shows a level of care and attention that Taiki puts towards his friends and the memories he's created with them. Another great thing that Taiki does is react. His reaction to seeing Hina was fantastic, and it shows Hina slightly winning him over, even if it's just for a split second. The cracks in Taiki's heart are forming. Hina, keep pushing. It's working. I love the fact though that Hina still went to the festival. After learning in the last chapter, Hina found it cost her all of her strength and energy to just ask Taiki out to the festival. Therefore, logic would state that her going to the festival alone with Taiki would require a lot of strength and determination and willpower. However, Hina didn't just go to the festival, she dressed to impress. Combine this with Taiki's reaction, and that's why I think that this chapter's title, When Underdogs Win, refers to Hina. Obviously, I can see why the title would also link to Taiki and Shieldo, because Shieldo calls Taiki an underdog, and he says he likes it when they win, but I think both work in this scenario. Now, we did all call it, but I do have to give props to Kyo. He's an absolute legend, helping out a friend even if they have different crushes in their hearts. All round, Kyo's just a great friend to have, and anyone would be lucky to be friends with him. Anyways, that's all I've got to say for this good chapter of Blue Box. It helps to set up some excitement for things to come in the next few chapters, so I'm looking forward to see where that goes. How will Hina and Taiki interact with each other? Will it be a cagey or a nervous kind of affair, or will they just gel nicely and have a good relaxing time? And will we see a different side of Hina? Will she act polite, or will she be aggressive? Who knows? Only time will tell. Join me next week as we go through chapter 34, and I'll tell you all about that next time. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, like, comment, share, all of that good stuff. And of course, I'll be seeing you next time. Have a great day. Alligator, maitane. Goodbye.